Welcome to the first episode of Let's Learn Zig. So I haven't really come up with a good name for the series yet, but if you have any suggestions, please drop them in the comments. Happy to hear them. So what are we doing today? Well, it's the first episode, so what do you do in a series at the start? You write hello world. But I'm going to go one step further. I'm going to show you guys how to install Zig on any operating system, how to set up the basic build system for Zig, and then finally actually show you the code for hello world. The actual code itself isn't very long. Even the build system is just a few lines, but I highly recommend you go through the whole process. And if you stick till the end, I'm going to show you how to create an entire hello world program that you can run immediately by just running one command right from the Zig compiler. So if that sounds good to you and you're excited about the series, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and yeah, let's jump into the code. Okay, now we're in our terminal. So what's the first thing we want to do? Well, you want to head over to https://cvm.app. So I already have it pulled up here, but this is going to be our Zig version manager. So this is how we're going to be able to easily install Zig on any operating system. So you'll go ahead and copy the command, and it'll change depending on if you're on Mac or Linux, you'll copy the bash command. If you're on Windows, you'll follow PowerShell or command. And also make sure if you're on Windows that you add CVM to your path. And if you've never done that, there's a guide here, but make sure to follow those instructions. And now that we've copied the command, we're just going to paste it and run it. It'll take a few seconds, but then once it's done, we should be able to run ZVM. So we can see, we can scroll it a little bit, we can see we have ZVM. In this case, it's 0.8.13 right now, but we want Zig, right? So in my case, 0.15.2 is the latest release branch. 0.16 is still in development. So I'm going to install the latest stable branch. Again, this will take a few seconds, and you should see successfully installed Zig once that's done. Okay, and just to verify, if we do Zig version, we can see 0.15.2. If you're someone who wants to use the latest master, like if you want to use 0.16, then you'll do zvm install master, and we can see that was successfully installed. Now, if you actually want to switch between versions, you'll do zvm use, in this case master. And now if we do Zig version, we can see we're at the 0.16 dev branch. But in our case, we want to use 0.15.2. So we're back there. Step 2, how do we actually create a Zig project? What we'll do is Zig init -- minimal. And now we can see it created a couple things for us. We do ls, we have our build.zig and build.zig.zon. So remember what I said, the order of today was how to install Zig, how to set up its build system, and then how to write hello world. So let's go into that build.zig. Now that we're here, we can see it's just basic boilerplate. Well, I'm going to show you how to actually set this up so we can do Zig build run. That's our goal. And if we look right now, we can see no step name run, nothing happens. The first two things you'll need is target and optimize. So let's create that. Const target equals b.standard target options. And it'll just pass empty parameters. And then do something very similar for optimize, but instead of standard target, we do standard optimize. So now we're going to create that actual executable. If you think about any program when it's built, you turn it into an executable. So we're going to create the definition of that. So const exe equals b add executable. And this is the power of Zig. We can specify everything we want right in its build file. So we'll just name it hello world. And the root module is going to be b.create module. And then we'll give it the root source file. So we haven't actually created this yet, but I will show you how to do that. So b.path, we'll put in source main.zig. So we will have to create this file, like I said, but then we'll just pass the target and optimize parameters, the same ones we created at the start. And don't miss anything. So now we're going to say actually install this executable as our build. So we'll do install artifact, and we'll just pass the executable. So now we've created an executable, but remember, we haven't added run yet because we want to tell the compiler what does run mean. So we see no step named run. So now let's add that, and this will be the last thing we do. So we'll do const run step equals b.step, and we'll give it the definition of run, and then just a helper. So let's say run the app. So now let's create that command. Now do run command equals b.add run artifact, and it'll be that executable. So what this is doing is it's telling us to create a command and add it to that executable as a run. Now we just have to kind of connect them. So we'll do that run step, depend on, and then we'll pass it a reference to the run command steps. So now if we try and run this, file not found, failed to find source main.zig. And this is expected. Remember, we haven't created that file yet, but this is good. This means it found the run step and tried to actually create that executable. Let's go in and create that file. Let's do source main.zig. Okay. And now this is the final thing that I wanted to show you today, and that's actually writing hello world. So let's first import our standard library, as we'll have to do. It's just called std, and then we'll write the function. It'll be public function main, and it'll be void. So very similar to C if you've written that. Then all we'll do is std debug print hello world, and make sure to pass the new line, and you'll always have to pass empty arguments into the print function. But now let's see what happens when we run. There we go. We have our hello world. And I think I promised all of you one other thing, and that's just how to create a Zig project, a full hello world with one command from the Zig compiler. So let's just do hello world 2 and cd into that. Okay. So now we're in that, and as we can see, there's nothing in here. So what's the command? So if you remember, we did zig init -- minimal earlier, but if you just don't add that minimal, we can see it created a lot more for us. And if we just quickly look in our main file, we can see there's a lot of code here, but at its core, it's that same thing where it's just printing hello world. And actually a fun fact, in Zig, their hello world is all your code base belongs to us. So let's just try that out. So now we can do that same Zig build run. And there we go. All your code base are belong to us. And also what it gives you is it gives you the initialization for tests. So if we do the Zig build test, we can see actually better to show a summary. And then we can see everything succeeded and test passed. And that's the episode for today. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you got some value from it. Again, we're going to be getting into a lot more intermediate advanced stuff in the future, but we want everyone to be able to get there. So we're going to work our way there. Next few episodes will be things like conditional. So if, else, switch, and then there'll probably be an episode on loops. Let's see, there's going to be like structs and functions, all things like that. We'll have episodes for all that to teach everyone the basics so we can work our way up to more advanced things. I'm thinking things like HTTP servers, even like raw TCP, UDP. And if you don't like networking, I'm obviously making a game engine. If you haven't seen that, make sure to check out other videos on my channel. I'm teaching you guys how to build a game engine from scratch, of course in Zig. So yeah, we'll get into more advanced things in the future. But if you're new here, welcome. Make sure to subscribe. I'm PokeLego Dev, and have a great day.